You're listening to the voice of the Inner East. That's right, you're listening to the mysterious Peter X. Now, we get into a lot of strange, wacky, crazy subjects on this show, and one of the subjects that we get into the most is the weird and the strange and the unusual, like conspiracy theories. We get into quantum physics, we get into all sorts of things, but the one subject that we don't get into is philosophy. That's right, philosophy. Now, philosophy, to anyone who actually knows the subject, is the love of knowledge or the love of Sophia. Now, as much as you love knowledge or as much as you love Sophia, if you don't understand what knowledge is, you're probably going to have a hard time figuring out who she is and what she does. Now, the easy way for this to be done is to simply realize what knowledge is. Knowledge is like reading a book. Now, you can read a book and you can have a book and you can look good with a book, but the fact is, no matter how many books you have, no matter how much information is in those books, if you do not apply the information in those books, well, you're pretty much wasting your time. Take for example somebody who loves themselves, absolutely loves themselves, and wants to look after themselves, but doesn't know quite how. They will go out of their way to find things like creams, so on and so forth, and take virtually people's opinions for it, and read all sorts of books about it. Now, the difference between wisdom and knowledge is that wisdom is applied knowledge, and knowledge is pretty much useless until you apply it. It's like knowing the difference between walking in the middle of the road and walking on the sidewalk. One has the potential to kill you, one has the potential to save your life, and it all depends what you want to do. Now, get this, a lot of people don't understand philosophy, don't want to understand philosophy, and don't care about philosophy, but I'll tell you why this is. It's because they don't think properly. That's right, I said it. People don't think properly. Do you know why people don't think properly? Because they don't think critically. If people thought critically, they'd think a lot different to the way they actually think they think. Now, when I say this, what I'm saying is people have a hard time criticizing the way they think. They have an easy time criticizing the way they look. They have an easy time criticizing everyone around them, but they don't have a hard time in ignoring the fact they should criticize the way they think. Like, if you think something that isn't right, it's proven wrong, what's the point on holding on to it? Or what's the point on holding in your head just because of the fact of having it? Now, I want to know what you think. I want to know of something that you've thought of, that you've held in your head, and maybe years later, you've thought, nah, should probably change what I believe. If you've got anything to do with this subject, any subjects at all that relate to this, give us a call on 9285 4847. That's 9285 4847.